This is Real Deal Sports Talk with KP, November 10th, 2018.
D-Town, can you vibe to this? A D-Town getting down to this. Can you get down to this? The party's rocking and the crowd was lit. The beats knocking in the sound system. And D-Town's in here. We hit the lick to get some crown to sip. The pip is hitting like a pound of bricks. Took a powerful rip. It felt like a time traveler trip. My mind drifting to the cloudy abyss. Took my chalice and sip. Chicks admire how I'm styling my fit. I acknowledge with the smile of a prince. Can tell I'm piling my chips. The party's rocking, everybody was bent. Nobody wildin', ain't no violence in here. We all lounging for real. The smooth sounds got us vibing and shit. In D-Town, steady riding to this. Can you get down to this? The party's rocking and the crowd was lit. The beats knocking in the sound system. In D-Town's in here. We hit the lick to get some crown to sip. The pip is hitting like a pound of brick. Can you get down to this? The party's rocking and the crowd is lit. The beats knocking in the sound system. In D-Town's in here. We hit the lick to get some crown to sip. The pip is hitting like a pound of brick. Can you get down to
living
this?
life to the fullest, it's an everyday philosophy. Walk up in the spot and get the party popping properly. Ain't no beef now, we just chilling inside. All the energy is positive, we feeling that vibe. Politicking with my people, we get the reminiscing how we flip the whole script. Now we in better position, still be on a mission, turning dreams to fruition. Getting street knowledge, no fees, intuition. Think about the future, how we need to teach children. Already reached thousands, we about to reach millions. Break the glass ceiling, how your ass feeling? Like a superhero on these comic book villains in the Mile High City. You know we stay blazing. I'm high off this life though, the feeling is amazing. Never had nothing, now every day is celebrated. Glasses elevated tonight.
Can
we
you
getting
get down to
elevated.
this? The party's rocking and the crowd is lit. The beats knocking in the sound system. And D-Town's in here. We hit the lick to get some crown to sip.
That's right. D-Town's a hit. That is the Barbarians. Get down to this. They're my boys going way back. I'm proud of them. They're the official music that we use here on Real Deal Sports Talk with KP. Welcome in. It's November 10th, 2018. We are now doing our Saturday shows. Remember, the schedule has changed. We are now on Tuesdays and Saturdays. You can always check us out on the website as well, realdealsportstalkwithkp.com. So, today we're going to talk a little bit of NCAA matchups that I like going on today. There's been some throughout the week, but, they're over. We're not going to talk about them. We got today. We got the future to talk about. We'll do my NFL picks. We'll get them in as well. I did take Pittsburgh on Thursday. I'm just going to put that out there. On the short week, you generally take the home team. So I don't want to hear nothing about nobody saying, oh, you're just taking them now. No, I'll post a screenshot of my saved picks in my Pick'em League if I have to. A lot of Major League Baseball offseason stories starting to heat up, awards starting to be give out. So we'll talk into that as well. And then just a shout out to the Circle of Stars at the end of the show today, as they have another great event going on. The first annual Circle of Stars High School Player of the Year Award. Guest speaker Amon Green will be helping them out there. So we'll talk about that at the end of the show. We'll see how much we can get in. We're going to start off with, we'll start off with baseball today. Why not? We haven't talked about baseball since the World Series. It wrapped up. Might as well. You got rumors and stories and headlines, mostly centering around Bryce Harper right now. All swirling around. Different people starting to put out their trade scenarios and things like that. It's a fun time of year. The off season for sports fans, it's like, hey, I need my fix. Where's my fix? Well, the off season is where you can get your fix. The trades that can happen is where you can get your fix. The free agent signings, the sign-in trades, which prospects are going where, who's going to be called up, who's getting let go, how's arbitration going to go. There's so many storylines we can follow. But there's some I want to follow. JD Martinez, for example, he was a guy everybody paid attention to this year. He's in the MVP race. And he is now the first player ever to win the Silver Slugger at 2 positions. Now, granted, one of those positions was DH. Okay? The other one was left field. But one of those positions was DH. So, okay, you give the DH a Silver Slugger, whoever the best DH is. Little silly to me. But a cool accomplishment nonetheless. Don't take anything away from him. He was still the best DH and the best left fielder hitting in baseball. that should help his case quite a bit for an MVP award, the fact that that's the first time that ever happened, even though he is going to lose votes to his teammate Mookie Betts. Impressive. I mean, baseball's got a long history. There's no sport that has more stats than baseball, keeps more stats than baseball, night games, day games, this start, that position. They got a stat for everything. So good job, JD Martinez. Great hitter. I mean, smart decision moving over to the American League, giving himself more at-bats. Put up great stats this year. I mean, he was right there. Could have got the Triple Crown. He was so close to it. He could probably taste it. He was probably hoping Mookie, would get a hamstring or something and not be able to play the final week so he could get the batting average title. But, World Series champ, first time ever, Silver Slugger, 2 positions. They're looking good. They're looking good there. JD's looking good. Story I was just reading about and seeing, I think last night and early this morning, the Cubs are open to getting rid of, trading Chris Bryant. They're all everything Mr. Third Baseman. Had a little bit of a down year for, what we've seen of him in his early career so far. But I mean, this is a guy, Rookie of the Year, MVP, World Series champion, home run hitter, plays some outfield, probably could play first base, plays third base. Solid player. Looking to trade him because you don't want to pay him? That's kind of how I'm reading this. Like, they know they've got enough needs on the team, enough holes that they're going to have to start filling over the next couple of years, that if they give him the contract that he's going to garner, they're not going to be able to accomplish their goals there in Chicago. So if they're able to somehow trade him away, if Epstein's able to pull off some of his magic, get prospects, maybe another starter in the deal. Right deal. I could see Epstein taking it. I mean, that's how he's built both of the clubs that he's made World Series champs now. Shocking. I mean, you would have thought he's going to be one of the pieces they don't get rid of, but value-wise, kind of like how in the trade with Demaryius Thomas, everybody was talking about, well, if it's a value trade, why didn't you trade the more valuable receiver to get the most back in value? Well, here we go. Here in baseball, Chris Bryant, he has a lot of value. You're not trading Javi Baez right now. He had a better season last year. Chris Bryant had a little bit of a down season, like I said, for him. But that would be something. I mean, he's not that far into his career. Rookie of the Year, MVP, World Series champ, potentially traded. Okay, interesting story to follow. Everything else out there right now, Bryce Harper. He's been offered a 10-year, $300 million contract from the Nationals that he's turned down. No thank you. He thinks he's going to get more money than that. We've heard for years now he was going to get a $400, $500 million contract. But the numbers to me and to people that, I talk baseball with, they're just not there. He's a good player, don't get me wrong. He's above average outfielder. He's not a great outfielder. He's got a good arm. He can hit home runs. But he doesn't hit for high average. He hardly ever hits I think once, maybe twice, but I'm pretty sure only once in his career he's hit 100 RBIs. So if that's what baseball money's like for that kind of production, everybody out there right now, whatever sport you're in, if you are under the age of 12, just go ahead and quit. Go get a bat, get a ball, glove, start playing baseball, because you're going to get crazy money. Now, if last offseason is an indication of how this offseason is going to take place, maybe that crazy money's really not going to be there. Or maybe last year teams were gearing up because they wanted to have crazy money this year. Who knows? But he's turning down $300 million of baseball money, not football money, baseball money. That's pretty much guaranteed after your signature's done. The Yankees potentially are considering bringing him in as a first baseman. I could see that. Let him play some DH, play some first base. Not really have him be, a guy you have to hide in the outfield defensively. The Phillies, they want both Machado and Harper. They want Mr. I Don't Hustle and Mr. I got a great name and great following. And I don't know, even if they land both of them, that's going to be enough to make the Phillies a World Series contender. It'll help them out in the East, maybe. But where's the pitching? Neither one of them are pitchers. You can play both of them at multiple positions. So that could give you some flexibility, kind of like what the Red Sox were able to do this year, playing guys all over. I feel like this is going to be another offseason where there might be a whole lot of talk and speculation and big numbers, and when it comes down to it, it's going to be more like last offseason. One guy we're not going to have with us next year anymore is Joe Mauer. Mr. Twin himself, 15 years with the Twins. All kinds of, he's had the concussion issues and different injuries throughout his career that he's dealt with. And he has decided to retire. He's appeared in 6 All-Star games, won 3 Gold Gloves, 3 batting titles, over 2,100 career hits, and all with his hometown Twins. He was also the 2009 MVP. I always thought he was a quality player. He missed time this year, diving for a ball and getting hurt. With issues connected to previous concussions. So, good for him for realizing and being able to go, you know what, it's my time. I'm 35 years old. I need to go ahead and just, do me, take care of my family, step away. I love the game. I'll have other opportunities to be in and around the game. And I'm sure Joe will. I'm sure he's going to have all kinds of stuff to do with the Twins. Be an ambassador for the team. They might bring him into some kind of a front office aspect or even, a coaching gig somewhere in the organization. Who knows? But he's an underrated guy because, to me, he played in Minnesota. I mean, he's one of their all-time leaders in most hitting categories. The ones that he's not, he's behind Kirby Puckett. Great defensive catcher. Great hitting catcher. And we all forgot about him kind of because he does play up there in Minnesota. So he's retired. He's one of, him and Chipper Jones are the only 2 players drafted number 1 overall in a Major League Baseball draft that have a career average of 300 or better. So he's going to be a Hall of Famer. And the Twins will miss him and baseball will miss him. So congratulations on your great career, Joe. We'll see what the Twins are able to do without you, sir. All right, that's baseball for now. We'll get more baseball when actual things start happening, and it's not just this story, this rumor, that rumor. I heard this from that source. I heard this from that source. Let's move into NFL football. That's Sunday. We've been talking about it on Thursdays. So we'll move into the NFL now. Biggest story for me right now coming out of the NFL before we get to the schedule and the picks and that stuff is Dez Bryant. He signs with New Orleans. 2 days later, we'll find out, I'm sure, later today whether or not his Achilles is actually torn, but he's carted off the practice field with what everybody fears to be a torn Achilles. There's an unnamed NFL coach out there saying, you know what, he's not surprised at all that this happened. With that much time away, no matter what kind of workouts or anything that you're doing, it does not match actually playing football. Now, he wasn't actually playing football. He was going through drills, and you can match drills when you're away from football. You just can't match contact and, how you're going to play that way. But he does have a point. When you're away for that long, no matter what you're doing, Le'Veon Bell, you are putting yourself at risk when you come back and you're trying to be full speed, full go, let me get ready by Sunday, and your body's not hasn't had that time to get ready. It hasn't had weeks of practice, of endurance, of actually being there trying to go that 100% all the time. And unfortunately for Dez, an Achilles injury oftentimes takes a full year, so that could put next season in jeopardy as well. He could miss 2 seasons now because of this. Now, Michael Crabtree, hey, he came back in 6 months from his Achilles tear. So maybe Dez is able to get back by training camp next year and get signed with somebody as, let me get a shot. Let me get a shot. I mean, that's where Dez is at right now. It's kind of sad that that's the way it took, and that it took him that long to find a team to sign with. I thought New Orleans was going to be the perfect spot for him to sign, honestly, because they didn't need him. That he was just going to be able to be that guy that they could put out there in this situation and throw to in that situation. Because they didn't need him. They have 1 loss. They just trounced the Rams. They just showed Drew Brees is currently the front runner for the MVP race. Not Patrick Mahomes, not Todd Gurley anymore. Drew Brees has come out and said, look, remember me? Remember the Saints? Who dat? That's us. We're still here. So while you guys have been talking about New England, and you've been talking about Kansas City, and you've been talking about the Rams, well, guess what? We're quietly the number 1 seed in the NFC. In fact, we just gained a game of leverage in our own division with the way Pittsburgh handled our division rival, Carolina. So while you guys keep doing that, I'm going to keep putting my numbers up. I haven't won an MVP. There's the potential when I retire for anybody to catch my passing yardage mark. They're going to have 16 seasons of 5,000 passing yards. I got a receiver who's putting up 150, 200 yards, touchdowns. I got a running game. I got a ratchet do-anything tool out of the backfield. I got an offensive line. But go ahead, talk about everybody else while the Saints are down here doing their thing. Drew Brees is right now the MVP. And Dez Bryant would have given him just another piece. Another guy they could have thrown out there and had a weapon in matches and just started game planning fools. We won't see that now. But hey, they also brought in Brandon Marshall for a workout. Does he then become that guy that they go ahead? Because reports are they were also impressed with the workout that he had. Maybe he doesn't have to lose weight like Dez Bryant did. He's still going to have to learn the playbook. So we'll see if maybe they do bring in a Brandon Marshall or one of these other receivers that they were looking to get help for. And if I'm Le'Veon Bell, I know the owners and the media are out there saying they expect me back this week, but after watching that and knowing that there's reports out there they want me back very badly, James Conner this week, he's in concussion protocol. They've been working him into the ground. You know, if I come back, they're going to start working me into the ground, especially since their offense is taking off and they've slowly started to get into their groove. Kind of like I said at the beginning of the season, you're going to see teams get into the groove. It's not going to happen from week 1. They got to get their reps in. If I'm Bell, knowing what my cap number is next year, 20, 25 million, maybe I don't come back. Maybe I sit this whole season out. Come back in OTAs for whatever team I get traded to for draft picks. Work my way back slowly instead of trying to rush my way back and possibly getting in the same situation as Dez Bryant. It's really something, if I was in his position, might have changed my choice if I was planning on coming back on Tuesday. It really would have, if it was me. Now, here's a stupid story that's out there right now. The Patriots players apparently keep stealing their practice shorts, which I thought players could just, take some shorts if they wanted them. Whatever. So the team has started getting orange shorts because the players aren't taking the orange shorts. I don't know why that's needed in an organization or, why they needed to be punitive with their punishment. I mean, it seems ridiculous to me, honestly, that they're taking the shorts, so the team decided to buy a different color. Hoping that... Look, what do the players got? Like, stacks of shorts at their house? Like, how many shorts went missing before they decided, you know what, we've been spending a lot of money on these shorts over the last couple months. Our allotment of money for shorts is a little over the top. We didn't put that much in the budget for shorts. So what we're going to do is let's experiment with a different color and see if they stick around. Oh, I don't know. That one made me laugh. It's not making me laugh as much right now as when I first read it. So, oh well, that's that. Great story out there in football right now, and I think more teams should be looking into this. More college-level teams should be looking into this. More sports should be looking into this. Is the Panthers are to hire a clinical psychologist in Tish Guerin, therapist. She's a therapist. And we've all heard the different athletes coming out and being brave and sharing their stories and letting people know what they're going through. I saw a couple different ones this week with Olympian Missy Franklin and how she's struggling with this losing streak and depression. And Ray Crockett shared his story about anxiety and depression this weekend. Anxiety. Steve Smith, who talked about while he was playing, how he would feel alone and depressed, and he played for the Panthers and the Ravens in his career. And we have these stories out there right now with the CTE and not fully understanding what the triggers are. Is it connected to the suicides? Why is it connected to the suicides? How is it formed? What other factors are playing a part? Maybe having these kind of people in the building that players know, hey, look, it's not a taboo thing anymore. There is no stigma connected to it. I can go be like, look, I gotta go meet with Tish, coach. I'm gonna be out at practice today, but I need to go have an appointment. I need to have a meeting. I need to get counseled. I need whatever it may be. And if more of these teams in contact sports, where it seems to be an attack on football specifically, and not the other contact sports, because of maybe the amount of exposure in football and sensationalism that's involved. But I think this is a big step forward, having these kind of people in the building, because it's not just going to be thoughts of suicide. It's going to be, anxiety and how to deal with emotions and loss, and they'll be there for the whole spectrum of things that you could need help for from a therapist. So mad respect to the Panthers for doing that and taking that first step to be a pioneer in that space, really. It's pretty cool, and I'm definitely going to be following that story to see how it grows around to other teams and is working there for the Panthers. All right, Week 10. We have on the bye the Ravens, the Broncos, the Texans, and the Vikings all get to rest up and get healthy this week. The Steelers took on the Panthers on Thursday night, just decimated them 52-21. You kind of wonder what would have happened if Christian McCaffrey would not have been in that game, as he scored all 3 of their touchdowns. But hey, the Steelers have cemented that they are the team to beat in the AFC North right now, and that division will go through them. Their offense is getting strong. Let's hope that James Conner is going to be okay with the concussion protocol. Panthers took a little bit of a step back in their pursuit of the Saints, who take on the Bengals this week. Could be an offensive shootout. I really haven't heard an update on A.J. Green, whether or not he's playing this week or not. That could change whether or not this is a shootout type of a game or if the Saints kind of just have the advantage. Falcons taking on Cleveland this week. I think this could be a trap game for the Falcons. I think matchup-wise with Cleveland's defense, second week under interim coach, second week removed from the firing, second week under the new offensive play caller, this could just be one of those trap games where it's like, oops, we got. The Falcons have been playing well. It just has that weird feeling about this game to me. Lions taking on the Bears. Khalil Mack is back. Lions are missing key starters in TJ Lang and Darius Slay this week. Division matchup, first of two in the next 3 weeks between these two clubs as they also play on Thanksgiving Day. Cardinals taking on the Chiefs at home in Arrowhead. This one could be a really long day for that Cardinals team. Patriots taking on former Belichick disciple player Minty and Vrabel and his Tennessee Titans this week. Who knows with these two? The Patriots always seem to find a way to let some of these former players, coaches get a win against them. Vrabel's got his defense playing extremely well right now for who they are. The offense is doing just enough, not enough to be the key factor, but just enough. They gained some confidence for sure against Dallas last week, putting that 28 on them. We'll have to see in this one. This one doesn't have the same kind of feel as the Falcons and the Browns. I definitely expect the Patriots, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Titans kept it close and had a chance. That wouldn't surprise me. Redskins at the Buccaneers this week. This, to me, these are two evenly matched teams talent-wise. Just going to be a matter of who makes the last play, I think, in this game. The team that makes the fewer mistakes generally been the Redskins this year. Alex Smith, he's not really a turnover machine. The Buccaneers have had their fair share of turnovers, but they're able to score quick when their offense is clicking. Good game. I mean, the fan bases of these two teams should enjoy both this game this week. Bills at the Jets. Sam Darnold, he's going to be out for a little while. McCown should get the start this week. The Bills, they're bad. I mean, they're bad. Jets, they're at least tough-minded. What do we say about these clubs? I don't know. Jaguars at the Colts. You got Leonard Fournette. He was on pace to come back this week. That should be a boost to that Jaguars team. Colts and Andrew Luck, they're doing everything they can with the team they have. I mean, what are you going to do? If you don't have the talent, you don't have the talent. Andrew Luck's been playing well this season. The shoulder's holding up. And they've won some games. They've lost some games that they had a chance in. They could win this game if the Jaguars' defense doesn't come out and play like the Jaguars' defense, which we've seen them quit in recent weeks and just not play. So maybe Fournette gives that team the confidence it needs, and they're able to move forward and get a W on the road this week. We'll see. Chargers at the Raiders. Just pick the Chargers. I'll just put that out there. Raiders are garbage. Their fans are loyal. They deserve a better product, but that team's garbage. Seattle at LA. If Seattle plays hard, they follow the blueprint that's been put out there, they've got a shot in this one. Denver played them close. The Saints beat them. Now you got your division matchup. You need to come back out strong this week if you're the Rams and establish yourself as a top team in the NFC and the top team in the NFC West. Dolphins at the Packers. These are two teams, both who thought they were going to have different seasons than they were. Dolphins started out strong. Then they just fell apart. Packers had expectations of being the division champ and moving on through the playoffs. They are struggling for sure this year. I would expect Aaron Jones to get a lot more carries this week to try and help Aaron Rodgers in that passing game out. Story speculating Mike McCarthy. This could be his last year in the Packers. The Packers are holding Aaron Rodgers back with their inability to spend money to get him talent, to get him pieces. Sunday night, you got the Cowboys at the Eagles. The Cowboys would love nothing more than to win this game after what happened last week and how embarrassing they looked all over the field from coaching to the players. And the Eagles, you got Showtime Tate coming out there, Golden Tate. He's ready to be your best player. We'll see how he's incorporated. I'm intrigued to see how they're going to incorporate him into that offense with his skill set. Division matchup could go either way. It's in Philly. These teams just don't like each other. Zach Ertz this week basically said that the tight end for the Eagles. And then on Monday night, you have the giant matchup between the Giants and the 49ers. Wah, wah, wah. 49ers decimated with injuries, not enough talent. Eli's at the end of his career with the Giants. That team is not a team right now. You know, it's in the Bay Area. Two bad teams. Two top 10 picks for sure. One team's chasing the number 1 overall pick. You've got some... I mean, each team's got some players. There's some guys you can like on each team. Eli's career, the end clearly has not gone the way that anybody would have thought. He's definitely just fallen off. He's classy as all get out. If you saw his interview this week when he was asked about only being guaranteed one more start this season and that maybe Kyle Lauletta will be taking over. Classy answer once again. He definitely learned how to deal with the media the right way. That's something both him and Peyton share, is their ability to stay classy as they answer questions about stuff like that. And I mean, look, I like Eli Manning as a quarterback. Is he the rah-rah guy all these fan bases want now? The show out, look at me, diva type with all the personality and all the flash and pizzazz? No. But I think that's a key factor in why so many fans didn't like Demaryius Thomas here in Denver, was he wasn't that type of guy. He was quiet. He was reserved. He didn't want all the fame and look at me. So he became almost like an easy target for bullies. Well, that's kind of what Eli Manning is. Like, he's put up good numbers. Is he the best quarterback of all time? No, he's not. And maybe he's hurt by the fact that his brother is Peyton Manning in that aspect. But he is a good quarterback who has accomplished quite a bit in this league and put up good numbers and led bad teams to places that maybe they wouldn't have been to before. He's had a long career. And look, he's just at the point where in this system, maybe in this new version of the NFL, his skill set doesn't work anymore. Stop hating on him. Respect him for what he did. And let's see what he does Monday night. You know, maybe the Giants are ready, coming off of their bye week, that they're going to be able to beat the 49ers and put a good product on the show. I know a lot of Giants fans. I got some buddies that are Giants fans that would love to see that. All right, here's my picks for the games. I did take Pittsburgh. I took New Orleans, Cleveland, Jacksonville, Washington, Detroit, Kansas City, New England, the Jets, the Chargers, the Rams, Green Bay. I'm taking the Giants, and I'll take Philadelphia to beat Dallas. That's my picks. That's Week 10. Now let's get to some key matchups that I like from today's action in college football. So I'm going to bring up the schedule here on ESPN.com, you know, easy access. And, you know, there's a game going right now, MSU, Ohio State. Great game, right? It's 5 minutes left in the first quarter. You got Big Ten action. Two teams that don't like each other. Two top 25 clubs. Bowl game implications. Ohio State's a team that's fallen apart. All kinds of issues there with Urban Meyer and the coaching staff. Michigan State's been fighting. They're always kind of that fighting team that seems to be one of those teams that upsets people. And here you are, it's 3rd and 10 at the Ohio State 26. This game's on Fox. Actually, there's 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I just got an update. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first quarter, and the teams are tied at 0. I think this Ohio State team is hurting based on the coaching this year. I know they put out the story recently about Urban Meyer and the tumor or cyst that he has in his brain and how that could be affecting him right now. Almost like a cover-up for why he's going to walk away at the end of the season, in my opinion. And an out to change the rhetoric around him as a coach and not have it to be with the situation with his assistant coach and not being fired and text messages and this, that, and the other. Another Big Ten matchup I really like today is Wisconsin and Penn State. Wisconsin, they're one of those Big Ten schools that sometimes can sneak up on you. They're a tough team. They're a running team. Penn State is kind of the same thing this year. They're in the top 25 right now. So I like that Big Ten matchup today as well. Another matchup that I like today is going to be later on. Oklahoma State is always good, but that's not the one I was looking for. Alabama, Mississippi State will be good. Washington State should get all over Colorado, but Colorado has the ability to play with them. They've just fallen apart in recent weeks. Auburn, Georgia. That's a game that I'm intrigued by later this afternoon. And then Notre Dame, Florida State should have been a big game, but we all know the state of that Florida State program right now, and it is not good. So Notre Dame should run all over them tonight. But Georgia-Auburn, that SEC matchup, can Georgia get caught by an Auburn team who wants it more? Can Auburn come to Georgia, to their home field, and shock the number 5 team in the league? Because Georgia's got beat once already this year, so we know it's possible. But can Auburn put together enough to get out there and get at it? That's what I'll be watching tonight. SEC matchups, they're good. The Big Ten matchups are good. Notre Dame's a team I always follow. Friend of the show used to do our Saturday morning college football with us back in the day, Chris Rupert. His LSU Tigers are taking on Arkansas today, so I know that he'll definitely be watching that one. Texas taking on Texas Tech later this evening. That could be a good game. And then Clemson at Boston College. Boston College has been one of those teams throughout the last, 15 years or so that every now and then they do surprise one of these top-ranked teams and get a win. So you could, see something happen in that game as well. College football, you got to love it. Find your favorite team. Go out. Watch them. It's Saturday. Get your errands done. Get your groceries done. Get your yard work out of the way. Or if you're already watching, congratulations. Good for you. Enjoy the games. Enjoy the games tomorrow as well. And what do we got left? What we got left today? So Dutch soccer fans, this is just funny. I'll just bring this out. Dutch soccer fans have been hiring strippers to streak at soccer matches to distract the other team. So now the streakers are professionals. There you go. It's not just random drunken people. They're actually getting paid to go out there and do that. And then lastly, again, the first annual Circle of Stars High School Player of the Year Award ceremony. Guest speaker Amon Green is Wednesday, December 5th at 6:30 p.m. Aloft Hotel. For more information, contact my guy, Eric T. Anderson, at 402-305-3724. They're going to be honoring the Player of the Year in each class of high school athletics. There's limited seating still available. So that's the show. That's the first Saturdays. Since we're on this new schedule, I hope you all liked it. We didn't have too many texts or write-ins today, so I must have been doing good. Until next time, you know how we do. Just be real.
Yo, Denver City life, living every night, getting it. All I see is green like it's night vision. My sight's different, my type driven. These niggas risking a life sittings over white flipping, but I ain't with it. I'm light skinned. Mind gifted, intelligence in my disposition, aristocratic image, and not to mention I'm nice with it. The ice drip over accordion sweaters, tight fitting, white linen. This is the type of shit that entice women. The fly shit that I'm on is passing the sky's limits. Why it's not surprising to see that all of these guys live it. I vivid, solidly swear the rhyme exquisite. With the time I'm giving, my mind flying, define physics. I stay smooth like sipping out of champagne flutes. Always way cool, but it ain't a thing, just the flame cruise. You lame dudes, this that shit that you can't do. That's why you main boo steady watching me how I make moves.
My city life got me way above the clouds. Paint the audience a picture every time I draw a crowd. I hold my weight with these bars, so make no mistake. I get the cooking like Shane Curry and Golden State. I'm motivated and taking off moving vertically, saying that they were seeing me lately. That's absurd to me. Virtually murdering MCs on purpose, cutting their body parts into pieces is verbal surgery. You say you hot, but you ain't burning to the third degree. Time to bring some urgency in the state of emergency. There's no comparison to us, that's way embarrassing. We get something from nothing like ancient Native Americans. Man, listen, I'm undergoing a transition. My transmissions are filled with nothing but ambition. No remorse on these rappers like a Roman force. Snuck into the game on these suckers inside the Trojan horse.
On these rappers like a Roman force, snuck into the game on these suckers inside the Trojan horse. No remorse on these rappers like a Roman force.